Hi everyone, and welcome to Interesting Facts. Today's segment is, can you ignore food expiration dates? And I'll go ahead and give the credit for this segment goes to betterreport.com. They've got all kinds of different stuff if y'all want to check them out. And credit for the thumbnail goes to Sergey Rizhov, iStock via Getty Images. So I've talked about this before, especially because of grocery outlet. Not everything they have is close date in there. They've got a lot of stuff that has like just regular dates on it, especially canned goods and stuff like that. But, some of their stuff is cheap because it is close dated. And then if it goes out of date, or if or when whatever they have left goes out of date, then they mark it down to at least half in most cases, which that's the best time to really get a lot of that stuff. But anyway, I've talked about it before, and actually Grocery Outlet, which is United Grocery Outlet, is their full name. It's not the same as the one that says Bargain Market. It says there's one that says Grocery Outlet, and then underneath it says Bargain Market. That's a totally different company out west, in California and probably Washington State and in that area. And there's not really any over in this area. I think they've got like one store or two up in around Ohio or somewhere. But this is our grocery outlet is United Grocery Outlet. And if you'd like to check out their website, I believe it's unitedgroceryoutlet.com. Check it out because they have a video actually about expiration dates. So when I saw this, I thought this would be a good way to explain some of it to y'all as well, because there's a lot of different ideas about expiration dates and stuff. So so I got that out of the way, the credit. So anyway, it shows this picture first of some milk, and it doesn't have a person's name on that. I don't know who to credit that to. Probably their own internal pictures or something. Okay, we've all been there. You open the refrigerator, grab some milk, grab the milk carton, and upon checking the expiration date, discover that it was yesterday. What do you do next? Some of us will pour it into our cereal anyway because there's no way a day makes that much of a difference. Others will give it as a sniff test to determine whether the milk is still good or not. Yeah, I do that. I definitely smell it. I mean, if it's out of date, and you never know. I just, especially once it's out of date. I've had them last. Milk has been okay for, I know, probably a week or something like that after it. So anyway, others will still go the better safe than sorry route and pour the entire carton down the drain. And milk's expensive now too. If you've ever been confused by expiration dates, to say nothing of the difference between them and best buy dates, there's a good reason. They're somewhat vague for the most part, less an exact science than a general recommendation. Okay? So what do expiration dates mean? That doesn't mean there aren't experts to turn to for advice. However, food dating is more about food quality than food safety, according to Janelyn Hutchings of State Food Safety. With the exception of baby formula, the food dating system is not government regulated or standardized, so the dates printed on most items are actually suggestions from the manufacturer to help you know when the product is at its best quality. Jennifer Kaplan of the Culinary Institute of America, meanwhile, calls expiration dates a manufacturer's vague estimate of when the product is at its freshest, and notes that many foods remain perfectly safe to consume days, weeks, or months after their listed date. And they do that to, like, let's say yogurt, for example. Yogurt, I mean, I used to be over the dairy department in a supermarket, a local supermarket. It's called Wright's Supermarket here, many years ago. And I always talked to the representatives, of the companies, and I believe it was Dannon. I'm not for sure. I think it was Dannon, which was big back then. That's when they started with the fruit on the bottom in the 70s. And he said, well, he said, we put the date to where it's still good for a couple weeks at least, because people will buy them and put like multi-packs and stuff, and they'll put them in their fridge, and they might get pushed around, you know, and you might not see them for a bit, or they just don't consume them, and they're in there for a while. And he said that way, if they were to eat one, it would still be good, is basically what he told me. But let's see. There's widespread agreement on this issue, with most experts saying that most expiration dates, while helpful in a broad sense, shouldn't prompt you to throw out food that's somewhat arbitrarily considered bad. The biggest reason is food waste, which contributes to misunderstandings over expiration dates. According to ReFed, 38% of America's food supply went unsold or uneaten in 2021. 80 million tons of perfectly good food, or nearly 149 billion meals worth. I mean, you could feed the whole world, like, I mean, really, and have more, probably more than one meal for everybody. And just because of that, it's mind-boggling. Not all of that is due to people throwing away their yogurt. It's funny you mention it, of course, but the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change estimates that 8 to 10% of all greenhouse gas pollution is caused by food loss and waste. The good news is that this is a fairly easy problem to solve if more people become aware that what expiration dates really mean and what they don't. Okay. This one's called the Food Expiration Police. The Food Expiration Police, it bears repeating that other than baby formula, none of this is regulated by any actual authority. It's mostly just guesswork on behalf of companies who would prefer you associate their products with freshness and the best possible taste. If that means that some consumers throw said products away before actually consuming them and have to buy more, well, it's hard to imagine most companies being bothered by that. Expiration dates weren't even introduced until the 1950s, when a company named Marks and Spencer's began using them internally and didn't add them to shelves where customers could see them until 1970. Expiration dates versus sell-by dates. Actual expiration dates have become less common in recent years, with sell-by, best by, and use by being seen on more and more items. That's a positive development insofar as these labels don't imply that food in question is necessarily bad after the listed date, but it does create confusion over the precise meaning. As you might expect, that's because none of them have precise definitions other than sell-by, which is more useful for stores than it is for consumers. Next time one of these labels leaves you feeling uncertain as to how you should proceed, many experts suggest following Gandalf's timeless advice: if in doubt, always follow your nose. So yeah, I mean, I can tell when the milk, you know, when it's, you know, beyond hope, you can definitely tell the difference, you know. But especially products like canned goods, man, they'll last. I don't know how long. I can't say exactly how. I know at least after a year, I've never had any problem with anything, you know, for after a whole year after it's expired. But I imagine it could even be longer than that with canned goods or dry goods, maybe. If you store them right, maybe some like dry beans, you know, you wouldn't want to. I'm guilty of it. I've got some I can see right now that are just in the plastic bag they came in, and I'm sure that doesn't offer much protection for the product. You probably, if you would put it, we don't eat many beans because of my Crohn's disease, but if you were to put them in like a Tupperware container or something, I'm sure that would probably keep them better longer, I guess. Best way to put it. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed today's segment of Welcome to Interesting Fact. Well, not welcome to interesting fact. I'm seeing what I wrote on here. I hope you all enjoyed today's segment on interesting facts. Can you ignore food expiration dates? I hope that I helped you in some way to understand a little bit more about the way they do things, and that it most likely it's still fine after quite a while, you know. Of course, you know, stuff that can go bad will eventually go bad, you know, if it's not sealed up, or something like I said, beans or dry goods or things like that, rice, you know. But anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed today's segment. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out, and hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. Everybody, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you later on. God bless.